we posted it, but I had to move you because there was already somebody over here,
That was
so
fine.
she's well aware.
Okay,
So
we're
we-
recording.
Anyway, he and I were sitting 20 minutes after the supposed to start, anyway, I said, well, I think we're done here. And I thought, he said, well, do we need to tell the guy that's at, where is he, that's, is he just gonna be here for a while?
He can hear you.
Yeah, I said, I think he can hear us. So when we walked out the door, he was already boogieing for the car.
Yeah, we can hear you.
So,
It's
so you
recorded.
didn't even have, cause you were supposed to
You
have.
didn't have a quorum.
Only 2 people here, me and him.
I thought it was for the board and committee meeting you were saying you guys were there. Oh, shoot, wow.
So I'll get hold of her.
Yeah. I even contacted, just because, like I said, I know what happened the last time, so. Oh boy.
Okay, we're just looking at the minutes. We have opened our board, and I'm looking for a suggestions in the order of a motion to approve the minutes of February 17th.
Nope, March 24th.
No, March 24th. You're right, March 24th.
That'd be you, Gary. You gotta make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'm gonna make a motion to approve the minutes of this meeting.
And all in
Mhm.
favor? That's a unanimous.
Are you doing the April 19th ones too?
And yes, and the April,
So same thing again, Gary, just April 19th now.
And approve the meeting of April 19th that the minutes read.
all right. I'll second that, and then we're on to unanimous.
So the board and committee meeting recordings, so that's just what happened last night, and then when we're going to plan on.
Right. So for the record, I attended the meeting last night of, the first, meeting of all the different chairmen of, committees in town. And that is going to, I think it's a great idea, and Ryan is the one that decided that he would like to do that on a quarterly basis. And I didn't hear anybody at that meeting say no or anything. I think it's a good idea. I thought for a while, when I left to go to the meeting last night, I told my wife I'm going and I'll be home before midnight. But it didn't. It ran quite quickly.
Yeah, they're usually like an hour and a half.
Yeah, so it was just each, the selectmen did their first, and it was just, here's what we're looking at, here's the things we're dealing with, and they didn't get into the
Nitty gritty.
the nitty gritty of any specific one. The idea was to ensure that we didn't have committees working on the same thing in a different way, so we're wasting talent and time, or that we had committees working against each other. So, and in other words, we had, we were crossing swords somewhere, and I thought that was a great idea. As it turned out, there didn't appear to be any of that, and that everybody, I use my AgCom as a, so there's 2 other committees that I mentioned earlier that have agriculture also in their title, and they pointed out exactly that, we have someone from the Ag Commission on that one. So we got Keith on one, and I think it's Allison on the other one. So they're just keeping a thumb on what's going on. They're not trying to control anything, but at least they can bring back to my committee if they see some conflict of, and then we can resolve those things without, you know, creating a problem. I think that's a great idea. It lasted about an hour and a half. On behalf of this committee, I arose and told them that it was, I said, here's the bad news. The cable committee, it is our job to help the open meeting law. That is, to bring the camera into meetings. And we've had a lot of trouble with some boards in town that who actually really don't want to have these things, their meetings recorded. So I'm here to tell you tonight that we will, as of the end of this meeting, we see it as our right to come into your meeting. We don't even, we're not required to tell you ahead of time, but we will. So I want to hold to that it's, I want them to know we're coming. And I think I left a message that I didn't think it was terrible, but I think I left a message, and you can correct me, that we were not gonna tolerate no.
Yeah.
That if we got no, we would resolve it, and your, you know, and it's gonna happen, it's gonna be, we'll resolve it, and then it's gonna be to our good, it's not gonna be to their good.
Right, I mean, it's just, yeah, you
Yeah.
said like if they have a problem with it, you can they can take it up with the Board of Selectmen, but the reality is with open meeting law, every open meeting is subject to being recorded.
Right.
There's no exceptions
Right.
aside from executive session.
Now, to be honest with you, there was absolutely no pushback, none.
Right.
Unfortunately.
It would be a little tough to do that when the camera is on.
Right, exactly.
It's a little hard to make that argument while you're being recorded.
But a couple of the ones that have pushed back were not there.
Right.
They didn't attend the meeting.
I think there was EDC people there.
They were there.
Yeah.
Hi, Hen. Oh, she's gone. Thank
If
you.
If you remember the last meeting, where we had a couple members or an individual from the Board of Health, and she told me this morning that she actually told them that that's gonna happen and they needed to come to the meeting, and no one showed up. So that may be our first problem, I would guess.
And a couple members of my committee are against it being filmed.
Yeah. Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but we can't.
The reality is that all open meetings are subject to being recorded, and it's not like optional. So,
But there's ways,
I
you
mean,
know, to
we're
work around it.
yeah, we're
for-
happy
as far
to
as- mhm.
accommodate. Like, if somebody doesn't want their face on camera, we can situate the camera so that their face isn't on camera, or whatever. But I think we're not gonna have that precedence anymore. Where like if they don't want to be recorded, we're like okay. So we're gonna attempt to record all of the
Yeah, I
in-person
think-
meetings.
I think in the front, I would like to see us going in softly, we're aware that if there's some people who don't wanna be recorded, let us talk about why,
Right.
and see if we can find a way to get around that. But at the end of the day, if they say, if we get it dead out, if you come in here, I'm out of here, then it's cable, but that committee is going to have to find someone else, because it's just that's not gonna work. And I don't wanna target, you know, I think if we know we're gonna have trouble, I'd like to discuss it so we can try to if we can stop
Yeah,
something.
resignation or, you
Yes,
know.
we can
Right,
stop
of
a
course, yeah.
resignation. So,
I was,
I would like to come to your next meeting and sit down and just, you know, I said, I'll just say, you know, there's nothing we can do except we can decide never to come and do that, because we're not, you know, we can't go to everyone, but the truth of the matter is that I get phone calls from people in committees who you're not the only one, that have someone who doesn't say, I'll quit. And they're afraid that they're gonna be, you know, wrapped up in somebody that goes, that walks in with this thing and says, you gotta do it. And if we could get past it, if we could settle some minds about, you know, we're not after anybody here, but, you know, we've got a town now that, you know, there's people out there watching what we put on the internet and on our local.
And like you said, I mean, yesterday, as far as the board and committee meeting, you know, you were able to see what people were working on, because you can't attend every meeting. So at least this way, if you have interest in it, you're able to watch it at your own leisure, you know, so that does that. And there's a lot of interest in the historical commission, you know, like what you guys are doing, you know, you guys are working on the clock tower, you're working, you know, the, Eagle's Stone, you know, like, or the Eagle's Head. There's been a lot of things that you guys have done that people might be interested in, and to get that word out, cause
Well, I would guess that
you don't wanna lose history either.
if I threw a list of names up of ones and, you know, they said, we let them vote as to, you know, what the ones they want, historical commission's gonna come right up on it. I mean, Christ, that's, you know, what could be wrong with the historical commission?
Mhm.
right.
So, and that there is nothing.
It's an advantage to have those meetings
But it's an
recorded,
advantage to have them recorded.
to know what they're
and-
working on.
And I think it's incumbent upon us to at least make the opportunity, take the time to resolve, you know, I just don't want my picture taken. If we can do that, we should try.
Yeah, I had wanted to go to their last meeting, unfortunately I was sick, and I didn't wanna spread my disease, so.
Right, I mean, even like the video, the teaser video, you know, you faded out and then you showed pictures and, you know, not saying like, but you could do different things like that too, like, hey, this is what we're working on, we're talking about the Eagle Head, show it on the, you know, thing,
yeah,
so there's different
absolutely.
ways to, so, we're not gonna let her quit, you know, we don't obviously wanna lose her.
She's been the secretary for like 25 years.
Oh, I know she has, yep. Yep.
Well, we should talk to her.
Yeah.
You and I should go talk to her. And it's not going to be in a demanding way, I just want her to know what we could do, and if that doesn't satisfy her, then I'm sorry.
Ryan here?
Uh,
No?
No, he's off today, and I think he's off.
Okay, so,
So meetings will start being recorded as soon as possible, right? Anytime, you could not advise them. And then, so we are going to try to get them in the Slade building here first, and then if not, we're going to try to use the senior center, and then if all else fails, we'll have to use next door. That's gonna be the, you know, just to make it easier on Brittany's life,
Right.
Yeah.
so.
So, the timing is a little wonky, cause I'm away the 16th through the 25th, so, but any of the boards or committees that we haven't previously recorded, I'm going to make a large effort to be there initially to answer any questions and sort of ease them into it, but if anything happens while I'm away, obviously I won't be able to be here. Or just looking, there's nothing happening that I would need to be here for, but as you know, things can change up to 48 hours beforehand.
right, and if you anticipate there being a problem with this, let me know and I'll come
14
with
years
you.
old.
Okay,
I want all of the all of your employees
Yep.
to know
All right.
that if they go into
See ya.
to video and get told no,
Yep.
I want them to have my address, my phone number, all of my contact. I will get out of bed, I'll stop what I'm doing, I'm coming.
Okay,
Yeah,
Because
and you have my
it's-
number.
this is
Yeah.
not for your people to be having to,
yeah, I mean, I always tell
That's
them
not
to,
fair.
to refer anyone who has questions to me and just tell them that they're just doing what they were told to do.
okay, so that's what we did. So let's see, town meeting.
Can I interject
No,
just 1 second? At the all boards meeting, the COA mentioned that they were looking for, tax work off, like,
Workers. Mhm.
whatever. I don't know if we're eligible because we're not tax funded cable, but if there were a senior that had some computer
Oh.
literacy, I could have some work for them. So I wanted to put that out there, that maybe we just need to find out if it's an option, if working for the cable committee could be a tax work-off
Keep
thing.
going. Right back here.
Yeah, I mean, cause if it's for the cable committee, I don't see why it wouldn't, be, and what happens is they get paid. They get paid but not paid,
Right,
it
right.
just goes towards tax credit.
Yeah, so I do have some work potentially for the senior tax work-off program, as long as we're able to do it.
Okay,
And I did mention it to Claudia, a little bit ago, and she said she might have someone, if we're able to do it.
so we'll just find out with Sandy after.
Okay.
That might, if she doesn't know, we can go to Ryan.
Okay,
Tony, this is Neil Gogan.
alright, sorry for interrupting.
No, that's good. I went home last night, sat down with my wife and I said, I don't think that we can do anything, but, we have a whole lot of things that we could use some people for. I mean, if we had on the farm, we need to change our, our image on the internet is not what we want.
Uh-huh,
So, is there someone to do that? And could it, but I'm not part of the tax,
To help you work on it?
Yeah.
No, it would
Yeah.
have to be municipal work, like,
well, if there's someone in there that can do that, hell, I'd hire them. So, but that's, it's money in their hand, so I'll do that, I'll help it. Anything else, just before we move on down to the town meeting? Okay. Are we all set up for the town meeting?
yep, we're good.
so it's June 7th at 7.
Yep, we'll be there.
7th at 7.
We will be there with bells on.
I'll plan on being there for like 6 anyways,
Okay.
just to set up.
Yeah, I'll definitely be there then.
Okay, so we'll plan on meeting for 6 p.m.
How about if I got a big box of little things that remember the little pieces?
Magnets!
Well, yeah. with
Oh,
the-
yeah,
You have them?
I have them.
yeah,
Where
sure,
were
why
they?
not?
Al even said, where are they? We can leave them out again.
Yeah, why not?
Put them on
It's
the
been
chairs all.
it's been a while, so people haven't seen them in a while.
Yeah.
Let's bring them back out.
It would be nice even to work on something like have each board and committee like submit something, kind of like a paragraph or something, and then even put like a flyer together. I know we're getting close though.
Yeah.
It's only like less than a month away.
Well, it's good for next year.
I guess it's, maybe that's something we look at. I mean, the annual report kind of does that anyways, and we'll have that. It should be here for that, so. Okay, so 7th at 7, and then, we have everything we need. So that would be good.
I'm in a lot of things in town and I was up in my office this morning trying to get some other stuff out. I just ran across those and I said, the town meeting, we need to do that again.
Yeah,
And there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll go over, so,
the next 40 years.
well, I'm gonna
Especially
tell you
with
what,
our
I am
quorum.
going to.
Roll them out every 3 or 4 years.
I am going to travel with them
Yeah.
around town.
Yeah.
I drink beer on Thursday with guys, not one of which thinks thinks anything in town is good, and, wouldn't for the life of him go to a meeting or actually even vote. So I'm going to take them and paste them right on their forehead.
I wonder if I could mail, I wonder if it would change a weight or change of the census or something, you know, too. I don't know, it's mailing, it's kinda.
They're small.
I know they're small, it's just the thickness of them.
Probably-
I'll look at them next year, maybe I just mail them out with it too.
I'll bring some in. I'll bring some in. Hell, I know exactly where they are.
I'm sure. Alright, bring them in, I can
I
keep
may
them
not
in my
get 'em.
office.
It'll probably be next week.
You know what, maybe I just also leave them out here on the counter, you know, or whatever, leave them
Yeah.
out on a thing for people to take,
Yeah,
so.
well, I trained a new employee last night, and she said that her mother's friend lives in Hubbardston and had no idea that we had a public access TV station.
Yeah.
But I think if you're not tapped into like local town happenings, you wouldn't know.
Yeah, you would.
And I can share that too, I can share it on, like social media that we have the channel, you know, watch meetings or, you know, and stuff, so.
I mean, we're more visible now than we were
You know
5
how-
years ago.
You know how hard we worked to get all of the Vietnam veteran names
Oh,
out?
sure.
It was, and was it last week? Bill ran across an elderly woman who said, I have a son that died.
Got another one
And
here.
he's not on there.
She lives like 3 or 4 houses down on Ragged Hill Road.
Huh.
Comes to town every day.
And now are you gonna get the name on there?
It's not hard to put in here.
No?
Yeah, we have 5 of them, I think, that since we had the thing made,
Yeah.
we have 5 names that we've been able to verify.
Oh, wow.
And her son's one of them, and and right after we get it in here on, I think it's coming in on the 17th.
Yeah.
And when that's done, then they'll come up and pull up a little bit.
Put that in, yeah.
Can they add the name without removing the monument?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do
Oh,
it
yeah.
right there.
Cause
They
think
do it
about
right
like
there.
when people get stones, they can buy them now and they don't have a death date, you know, you don't know when you're gonna die usually. So they'll come up and they'll just etch them on site.
What they do is they build a, what do you call it when you?
It's like sandblasting. They'll
Yeah,
just
but
sandblast
they build
Template,
a
template?
template,
Uh-huh.
and then they just go in there and they sandblast the template.
Yeah, I got a phone call the other day from this woman in Florida. I could barely understand her, but she has a photo of a veteran that wanted to be on that collage.
Send it.
And I said, she thought I was involved. I said, well, if you email it to me, I can forward it to Bill Shea.
Yeah, 'cause he
Did
hasn't
you
done
show
that
it?
yet.
But she hasn't emailed it yet.
Okay.
I did take the number down and I can give her a call.
Yeah,
Yeah, give her
'cause
a
I would
call
find out what the
because-
deadline is, 'cause he's gonna start working on that now.
Well, yeah, I think it's being put together.
Is it already?
Already.
Might be too late.
Get it, you know, we've done things anyway, we could, you know, if you can get that in picture, we'll get it done. Hey, by the way, thank you so much for that book.
Yep.
I mean, the guy handed it to me yesterday, and I stayed up till goddamn 1 o'clock this morning reading. I mean, it was great.
The
It's-
picture in there of the dog on top of the cannon.
Yeah, yeah,
And on that page or the next page, it talks about Elizabeth Hunter.
right, yeah. I think it's neat, it's the third book on this, isn't it the third book on the Hubbardston? There was the original one, then there was another one after that, and this one.
Reverend Stowe, 1882.
Yeah,
Is that the one I have over there?
That's the old one, and then the Sullivan book,
I have that one, yeah, those are for sale and we have them for town.
Yeah.
the one I wrote.
I don't have that one.
That one's over, you got a copy of it here.
I do? We do? Oh, yeah, on the top, yep,
Yeah.
you're right, I remember that one, okay. Is there another one? No,
I'm
those
working
are
on,
the three.
I'm working on the second one.
Which
That
one
was
do you
interesting.
have?
Hmm?
That one, the little book?
I have the 2 old ones ones that go back, way back.
Mm.
And then, this one that he gave me,
Yeah.
that the period, it picks up in the 1800s,
Where he left off,
went, and then, yeah, where that one left off, and took it to 1975.
Wow.
Very
I should
interesting.
read that book.
Okay, so the town meeting is taken care of, warrant money. That issue came up last night, and, they were, the people there that, what's the name of that money that they're,
Finance committee?
Oh,
No.
the ARPA?
ARPA stuff. And, they, you know, the young lady, you know, was pretty adamant about, you're gonna do it this way, and if you don't do it this way, you're not gonna get anything, type thing, which is good, because that tells you what you have to do. And,
Bye now.
what was more interesting to me than that was that, the president of the, said that he was, aware of how many billion,
Oh, I don't know.
3 billion?
I don't remember.
Oh, it was a huge amount of money. It was not in the millions, it was in the billions that was available coming down the street.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, cause we're supposed to get that other round of money too,
yeah,
but I don't know.
yeah, there's 400,000 left
For this, yeah.
for this round,
Mhm.
the one that's gonna be
July, I think.
in July. And you know, while it's, and I was gonna talk to Al about that last night, but he was up and gone before I got up, before I left, he left early. That if we, put this thing together and try to get it into that one, you know, he told them, you know, we're looking at probably $3 million.
What they
You know,
say.
and they've got 400,000.
Right.
Mm.
I think maybe we ought to wait and do another one.
See what happens with
Now,
the
there was
next-
no kickback about, you know, there was a little bit of, you know, we do need better Wi-Fi. Okay?
Mhm.
And, so that, you know, that did come up, but that, you know, and how did he put it? He says, I don't know how much money we would get, but you know, a small piece of 2 or 3 billion is probably all we need.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean we're getting the, you know, it's
No.
spread out everywhere, so
Yeah.
who knows what it'll be. But, I mean, if you don't try, you don't get it,
Right,
you know,
exactly.
so. The other thing about the warrant money was I did change the amount for the year from 20 to 25, so that was moved up for the camera equipment, so
Okay. All right,
we
great.
can do that.
Great. Anything else in that category? Town events. Well, we got a couple of them coming up. Memorial Day, then 2 weeks later, it's,
town fair.
Town
Fair.
Fair.
Yep.
I gave her a pretty lengthy baseball schedule too.
Yeah, we got the
so she has
youth
that.
baseball schedule,
Okay.
so we'll be covering some of those.
Do you have the people to cover all this?
Yep. Yep.
And, I mean, going all the way back, just, if you see something that you have an idea that's gonna be hard, just let me know,
Okay,
and I'll come with you.
okay.
We just, you know, I don't wanna come in there and have somebody get nasty with us and,
No, of
Throw the
course
book
not.
out.
I wanna avoid that at all costs.
yeah,
I think a lot of it is just
Fear of the unknown.
fear.
exactly. So usually me going there and having a discussion with the board, answering questions, that usually puts them at ease.
My wife always tells me I come to these things, you know, go put better clothes on. I said, why? Why? The other people aren't, and I don't wanna make them think that they have to dress up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just be you,
Said-
that's it.
I got my dark glasses today.
I'll- I said, I'll do that enough harm in my choker whites on the 30th, so don't worry about it.
Mhm.
Okay, town events, anything else that we have to do?
Field day.
Field day, well,
That's
yeah,
in
field day.
That's in the fall, right?
That's
yeah.
in the fall, yeah, so.
But I've
'Cause
got
we'll have
everything-
the dinghy dash, like we'll have
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that,
I
but that's
have
fall
all, I have
stuff.
all that stuff on my calendar.
Okay.
The big one I'm worried about is Memorial Day.
Mhm.
You're gonna have a camera crew there filming different,
Oh,
Lots
we
of it.
we got,
By crew, you mean me and one other person, yes.
well, more than one camera, so.
The thing is that every town has their Memorial Day on the same day, and I manage 4 towns, so it's a challenge.
but we, I believe have, very likely gonna have some TV in here.
Yeah, but I will be here. Hubbardston is my priority this year for obvious reasons, so there's gonna be complete coverage here. You don't need to worry about that.
Okay. Well, we have, we know that, we're gonna have radio coverage here. We know that, we've had, put out feelers to 3 different, TV stations in the Boston area. And they said they were interested and they would get back. My guess is that, you know, if they'll be back if no one gets shot in Washington or.
It's possible, I mean, if they just wanted to do a little piece,
Yeah,
we might be able to provide them with footage that they
Right.
could use.
right,
I can talk to Bill about it,
okay,
but I could possibly like provide, you know, some video for them for B-roll if they wanted to do a piece without actually physically coming here.
I think we already talked about new and old business, didn't we not?
Yeah, I just always throw that on in case there's something else that we forgot about.
Anything else we need to talk about today? I'm leaving, at dark:30 in the morning for New Hampshire with another chunk, a bunch of, yarn that's gonna go be sold. And right now I gotta go home and probably
Get
label
the
until
totes
about
out of your
midnight.
bathroom.
I'm gonna be labeling until about midnight tonight. Can't tell you guys how much I enjoy being on this committee with this group of people. I really do.
Oh, thank you.
It's a fun
And,
committee.
Interestingly, my wife got me involved, my wife and sister-in-law got me involved, the senior singers.
Oh, yes.
Oh, really?
And by that, I met Al's wife,
Nancy.
Nancy.
Mhm.
What a couple.
Mhm.
I would like to meet Nancy.
Oh,
I
you've
would
never
like
met Nancy?
I would like to meet the woman that married Al.
Yeah.
Well, listen, she's,
She's usually at the senior center. She
Huh.
might be over there today. Yeah.
yeah, she's
Here quite a bit.
Yeah, she's quite a, yeah, she really is. And she was, when I first started singing over there, she was the leader, although there was some other person who was
Mhm.
out of town and,
She usually plays like keyboard
yeah,
and
the
stuff
lady
too.
there is, you know, one of these, people that, oh, well, she knows everything. Well, she thinks she knows everything, but if you wanna get something done, you call Nancy.
Mhm.
Nancy gets it done.
Mhm.
And in the meantime, I was at a meat raffle. We had a really good meat raffle, and then the next week, the Rod and Gun had theirs. So, several of us went over to that meat raffle just, from the
Support.
Lions Club, just to
Yeah.
make sure they knew that, we thanked them for letting us use that place, and we came over and supported them. Well, this young man came up and sat down across from us. and it turned out that it's their son.
Al's son. He lives in town.
Yeah, yeah, and so when he sat down and he introduced himself, and I said, are you Al's younger brother? He said, no, I'm his son. So then the next time Al was there, I told Al, I said, I met your son. He said, yeah, well, shit, that's all good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I tell you, I don't have you guys seen, but he votes yes and he smiles now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
and I really do. This is, I've done a lot of things in town. This one I enjoy. I really do. It's got good people. We have good things that we can do.
And we're making progress.
And we're making progress.
Yeah, I think the coverage of meetings is very important and moves things in town forward.
Right, exactly.
And it keeps people aware, you know, of what's going on, like I said, who aren't able to.
Yeah, it's the silver lining of
Because
the
they're
pandemic.
tagging yarn.
You know, the truth of the matter is, I mean, we have the Lions Club, along with the town, or with Katie, actually. We've been having a little war about putting some signs up, some neon signs up. And it's mainly about money.
Mhm.
And the Lions Club, we came, a year ago, we came in,
Couple, yeah.
or maybe 2 years ago,
Yeah.
we came in with a plan to put one somewhere down here and another one up at the field. And down here would be controlled by the town, and up there would be controlled by somebody who was going to, it was just going to be for events, and other things, because
Yeah.
you've got, you go buy one of those and you got a limited amount of time on your car
Especially at the rec
to
field.
read them, and so, you would always be overtaken by this one, because if we were only gonna have one, or we could have two signs, but they were controlled in one spot, we thought there was going to be likely to be some kind of competition getting going. So we were going to put up two of them, and what we wanted to do was we wanted to put them up. We have all of the talent in our club to actually install them, buy them and install them. So the installing is gonna cost nothing, and the buying is just for the thing itself, which is for the Lions Club to do it, it costs more for the, for the TV or the sign itself.
Yeah.
But if the town does it, it's just, the installation is covered by so many goddamn laws, and they have to pay, state prevailing wage.
Right.
They have to go through this,
Yeah.
all this stuff, they gotta get bids, and so that took it, the one is like $40,000, I think, is what she was looking for.
For a sign?
Well, to put one up,
Brutal.
so, but, I get a lot of feedback from my old friends, that, what the hell do we need those for? And I said, well, every single day here, every single Thursday, we sit here and two of us who are on committees, and a little bit active in town, have answers to the questions that you ask. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? Who the hell needs that?
Right.
And I said, none of you go to meetings, none of you vote, so you have no voice.
Right.
And so,
It's about,
we're
yeah.
friends, and you're my friends, you can tell me to go to hell, and I'm still gonna be your friend. But, it's hard. We think we do a good job of getting out to people, but, a woman whose son was a Vietnam vet who didn't know,
Right.
in town, to me, that's we don't have, we don't have the internet.
Right, no,
we
you,
need.
having a sign that everybody's walking by or driving by or whatever, that's one way to ensure that you're gonna get a message out, like,
Well,
clearly.
at least to that group of people that go by those signs.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Who
Yeah.
don't have, because, I mean, last year or the year before, I have people that say, well, I didn't know about town meeting.
How could you miss the town meeting?
Don't they get?
It's on the same thing, it's on the same dime every year, it's the first Tuesday of the month, it's the first Tuesday in June. We sent a postcard to every household in town, okay, a postcard, so you do that. And then, I mean, we do a bulk mailing, so they get it and it goes and they just give it, so it's not like it's mailed and it's not, I mean, it just
They
goes
get,
with
they
your
get
like
the warrant
mail.
in the mail?
Not,
also?
now we do a postcard, so
Oh,
it says
okay,
where you
yeah.
can find the warrant.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
willing
yeah.
to deliver the warrant to your house, we're willing to mail it to you, you can come and pick it in if you want a hard copy, if you don't wanna view it that way. I post it online, it's posted on Facebook, it's posted, and people still go, well, I didn't know.
Yeah.
So,
and that-
I mean, you can do it so much, and people still just don't
Well,
always
and
get the
it,
message,
you will
so
never get everybody.
no.
Right, but this is another,
But that's another avenue
way.
Right.
for the people that don't get the
My
postcard.
answer is there's no, in my soul, there is no place that I stop trying to let people
Mhm.
know what's going on.
No.
I mean, it doesn't frustrate me. Yeah, what frustrates me is that they're frustrated that they
Mhm.
don't know.
No.
Now, we have a large population of elderlies in town. And I've been trying to find a way to, I know the senior center does a pretty good job for the people that come to the senior center.
Mhm.
But then, most of the people I'm hanging around with, they're saying, I can go.
I'm not old enough to
Right,
go to the
right,
senior
right.
center.
There's old, my buddies are harassing me now that I'm going, I've been singing with the.
I tell them,
the
I
seniors.
go, I love it, I go over there when I have a chance, and, you can always if you're hungry or you want coffee, you can always find
Yep.
that, if you play cards, you can go there, so.
Andrea and her sister have really good voices. They've sang in choirs their whole life and they're really good. And they all tell me I have a really good voice, but if the guy next to me drops an octave, you go with him. So I just tell him no. Well, so we're over there, this was like a couple of weeks ago, we were over there. And this one of the gentlemen was gonna do a solo part, in one song he gonna solo
Really?
part. But he was having a hard time, his voice didn't project from it, he had a nice voice, but it didn't project very well.
Yeah.
And he finally said, I need someone else. So Nancy says, Tom, you're sitting right next to him, can you sing with him? So I said, sure, I can sing with him. So we sang and it was just great, everybody, Well, the last 2 weeks, I haven't been there. So she was on me last night.
Oh,
You
yeah.
gotta come over there. And I said, well, she said, are you not coming? I said, my problem is that I'm singing, a duet with someone, and I'm in the row right behind my wife and my sister-in-law who aren't. And I said, I think they're being very quiet about it.
Mm.
But, they some of those people over there, I mean, they're not young.
There was a woman, she was 100, maybe 101, and she was still singing over there, like, she would come, and I went in and they were like, oh yeah, we're having a birthday
that,
party, and they were,
That
forgot-
Mark,
I forgot her name, she looks great, and she was like, she turned 100, Ryan and I went over there for like her 100th birthday, and she's still singing on Tuesday. It was- it was crazy.
Mark, oh, come on, Tom. Just ask him. Anyway, he brings his mother over there and then sits over the side.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's
And
great.
He's in his middle 50s,
Mm. Yeah,
but he brings his mother over there every Tuesday.
that's awesome.
All right, can we adjourn?
Next meeting,
Oh, next meeting, let me pull this over, my brains are in this little.
So we'll
black
have town
folder.
meeting and then we'll have town election coming up. I don't think we need to do one prior to town meeting, you're fine. I mean,
Yeah,
you know
I'm
what
fine.
you're doing, you've done it a million times, no other questions. If you have questions, you know how to find us anyways.
Yep.
So what is it now, May? I don't know if we wanna skip June and go to July, cause I'll have town election and I'm taking the last week of June off. But I can do it in between too. Just depends on. We don't have any
Okay.
questions on the ballot and there are
Between
no
now and
contested
Memorial Day,
races.
Probably want
I have,
we definitely wanna have a meeting after the new fiscal year starts so that we can vote on
Yeah.
purchasing those
So,
cameras.
yeah.
So maybe early July.
okay, you wanna go into July?
Yeah,
Yeah, that would make the most sense.
We wanna stay on Thursday,
Thursday's fine with me.
7th?
That works for me.
7th, how's that?
July 7th, sounds great. What time? 10 a.m.? Was that what time this one was?
It was, yeah.
Okay.
Thursday, July 7th, 10 a.m.
More, this time works better for you, right?
And July
Yeah,
7th.
Yep, July 7th, 10 a.m.
I'm gonna try and video the monument being lowered into place up there, but I won't show it until after the 30th.
Right. I assume that, I have a strong feeling Bill's gonna have it recorded as well.
Yeah.
I'll double check with him, see if I should send somebody or not, but he's had pretty good coverage of all that stuff, so I don't wanna be redundant either.
What a nice guy he is.
I've been
Yeah.
trying to get hold of him and not answering the phone, and I left a message last night on the email.
Yeah, email seems to be best way to communicate with him.
Is he
Yeah.
out of town now, or?
No, he's here.
So meeting